Alright guys, we're back. I'm your boy DeAnthony. I'm my boy Don here.
Sup?
And we're Break Room Blitz.
You.
So, we went to go see Family.
Instant Family. Instant noodles.
Right. Kind of. Mini rice. And we kind of want to talk about it. It's going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
So, just want to let you know now.
You've been warned.
Right.
If you haven't checked out our other video that we did, non-spoiler version, go check that out.
Right.
And maybe you could decide, okay, maybe I should go see this movie, maybe not. I don't know.
I think you will.
I think you should.
But before we start, the rules on the channel. Now, we ain't doing this for free. We here for likes and subscriptions, okay?
Yeah, it's a click. We do it for clicks. Like, all you gotta do is a click.
Right.
Click here, click there. Boom,
And
boom.
a comment.
Yeah.
So if we make you smile or laugh at any point,
Yeah.
even a little smirk, go ahead and hit that like button.
Yeah,
If we make you
bang.
think, go ahead and comment. If we make you, if you disagree, go ahead and comment.
If you just liked it, you just want to leave like a happy face emoji, we'll take that too.
Right. But
Yeah.
if you disagree, we'll let you know why you're wrong, because we're always right.
We're gonna break it down.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't get the shirt. Sorry, but we're always right. They had some of those at this $5 store.
Oh,
But
really?
they didn't have my size.
Ah.
I so wanted it. And then, if you want to see our beautiful faces every week, right, go ahead and check us out, ladies. Hit that subscription button, and poof, we'll be right here
Right there.
every week
Right in.
for you.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So, what we got in this?
All right, so we got Mark Wahlberg, of course. We got Rose Byrne, and we got Octavia Spencer.
For the discussion, he want to wrap it up.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
now.
How's it doing with the?
So, I
critics?
mean, so far we only got a Rotten Tomato critic score of 76%. And you want to talk about what you gave it?
Yeah. I mean, you could have said yours and then mine, but we all good. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I
There are
gave it
some
a 4.5.
there are some agendas that made me kind of knock it down to a 4.
Yeah.
But as far as like the message, I really like the message and what it was actually bringing, to the screen. So we got 4.5, 4.
Yeah.
I would rewatch it. Rewatch value is high for me.
Very high. Yeah, for sure. I would definitely rewatch it. I would recommend everybody to watch this.
Right. It's a to me you could show this in schools.
Mm-hmm.
You can show this like as far as like you could do it in like high school,
Yeah.
college, as a study. There's a lot to be learned or grasp from the movie.
Right.
It's not just like a mindless, like what do you call Daddy's Home? It's not like
Yeah,
that.
It's not
It's
like
a little
raunchy,
more-
funny movie.
Little deeper than that.
Right.
So even though I did like Daddy's Home, I like Mark Wahlberg movies. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big fan of Mark Wahlberg, and especially being that it's something that families can watch.
Mark Wahlberg's dope. He does dope movies.
Right.
Just in general.
And he's a masculine guy, so he's not
Yeah.
just like this goofy, funny dude.
Nah, he's got grit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can kind of I can relate to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when he's like trying to fight other people. When he's trying to fight the little boy.
Right.
Because he thought that he had sent a dick pic.
Oh, I got your eggplant right here, Jacob. Oh, you're gonna go away for a long time.
His facial expressions.
Yeah.
Besides Ice Cube, his facial expressions are like the best.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like right below Ice Cube,
Yeah.
for sure. So, what do you think about the story overall?
I thought the story overall. Were you gonna say something else?
I was.
All right. What were you gonna say?
Okay.
It's a
Wait,
long
you gotta
question.
wait for the
That's a long
punchline.
question.
Because I thought that, bringing something to light as important as foster care and foster children, the kids that are forgotten about, in a positive way, I thought is very important because it made me think.
Yeah.
It made me kind of it got to my heart, pulled my heartstrings. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that it's kind of like one of those things, they put it in a very funny way. You get a dog from the pound rather than, waiting for puppies, making more puppies. So, rescuing something that's like, we have this significance of, these people, these kids, they're innocent kids,
Right.
and they deserve to be loved too, so it had a grand message of that, and pulling these kids out of the situation that, life dealt them, cards dealt them, it's kind of messed up. And we got these, group of people that they just want to do good because, for whatever reason, you know, in their
They
life.
gave up on sex.
You know, hey, but you know what? You know, whatever health issues they might be having, and they can't have kids of their own. This is what
They
you
never
get.
said that though.
Um,
They just talked about, well, we weren't really ready, and then I wasn't really sure, so I didn't bring it up anymore, and now we're gonna adopt. Like,
right? Yeah.
let's get to screwing, okay? Let's try it out.
Right.
But they gave up on that.
So I mean, overall, I did like the message they were trying to convey. You know, like let's they actually did try. You know, they talked about having an 18-week program to try to adopt a kid, taking classes for that. So, you know, if the fact that they're trying to do so much and, you know, qualify to become, you know, foster parents, that was like, okay, they're really going out of their way for this. You know, they really want this. You know,
Right. So, when it comes to child acting, I'm always like, I don't know. Too many kids.
Yeah.
I don't really know who they are. And Tyler Perry is really bad at this, is hiring terrible actors for children.
Okay.
You really need to get some people who can actually act. I thought they did a good casting for the children.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Did the children seem realistic to you?
Yeah, the children did seem like very authentic, you know, as far as, you know, each one of having their own personality.
They did.
So, like, as far as, like, you know, not all of them were just, you know, crazy kids running around, like, okay, the new foster parent, they're not going to be able to control them. No, I mean, one was very chill but emotional, so that's kind of hard to control,
And
as
stupid.
opposed to stupid and clumsy, you know, just, like, all over the place.
That's one of the agendas that I saw, was that all the men seemed kind of incompetent.
All of them, yeah, absolutely. Every single one of them, including Mark Wahlberg, you know? He was just kind of...
Right, he can never be the dad he wanted to be.
Right.
Can you let me be the bad guy? And the mom kept jumping in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, let him do his job.
Let him try to, like, you know, wear the pants for once here, you know? Lay the law down.
And I see stuff like that, so when I see that, I gotta ding it. You know, I don't really like agendas like that.
Right, because it's never always balanced, you know, we talk about that, you know, it's just like, okay, we've seen a lot of women coming up, you know, playing this, like, lead role, and, you know, but when it comes to, like, the family household, you know, it's just like, there's got to be a balance, and there's got to be an agreement between man and woman, and the fact that this little boy in the movie, you know, he grew up in a house where the mother was, you know, doing all these, you know, drug addiction type of things, you know, meth lab or whatnot. He didn't have a dad to begin with, you know. A lot of these kids in the adoption, you know, they talk about that in the movie too, that the husband's gone, he's out of there, you know. And
yeah, which is a
so,
sad thing, really.
I mean, the fact that now that this kid has a father like Mark Wahlberg, you know, that he plays, you know, a very male, masculine role, you
Right.
know, it brought a new light, and the kid was very accepting of it. I thought. What do you think? How did you think that the little boy and Mark Wahlberg's chemistry go?
I think Mark Wahlberg's response to him was probably not that realistic from the jump. I think he could have grown to be more accepting of the little boy, but I think at first hand, like, the little boy was stupid. I don't know. He just kept messing up. He was crying all the time.
Getting hit in the face.
He just let the balls hit him in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
You gotta dip, dive, duck, and dodge, and
Right.
put your hands up.
what is going on?
Yeah.
So I think his response would have been a little different, but then over time, you know, you get to just accept, like, this is just how the little boy is.
Mhm.
So, but that didn't bother me too much. I just didn't like how dumb the little boy was. Because now, if he had autism, then I'd have been okay.
Yeah, we didn't get too far into, like, what each of the kids had. I mean, there was one point towards the end of the movie where that little boy was crying in his bed, and finally he, you know, the foster mother goes to comfort him, and, you know, he just kind of walks away, or she walks away, and he says, "Thanks, Mom." And
Right,
that
so
was like her first.
I think they might have taken out some of the stuff, some of the background to his
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, there was
He's-
definitely some, like,
He was definitely
turmoil.
abused.
Yes.
He has night terrors.
Yeah.
There's something else going on there. But for this type of movie, I think it was probably best to take that out. But I noticed, I'm like, something this ain't right here.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I thought the kids did really good. I thought the kids, you know, the little girl, she played a brat. The older kid, he played a good crybaby, dumb kid. And then we had a teenager, which played a, you know, traditional teenager in America. So I thought it could have been. I thought that they were pretty actually okay. They weren't that bad.
Yeah, they were actually good. You know, they were playing off of their survival instincts. You know,
Right.
Especially the teenager. You know, she saw everything go down, and then she had to help raise her little brother and sister. So I think that, you know, her being on guard with, you know, oh well, you know, don't tell me what to do kind of thing, and like I'm gonna take care of myself.
Now for me, I would set out the ground rules from the jump.
Right.
Soon as they come and put their luggage down, we are having a session on rules and regulations in my house. This is my house.
That would have been really good, because, you know, they kind of just like they talked about having like what is it honeymoon period, you know, kind of like everything's happy from the get-go, but then sooner or later when you do start laying the ground rules kind of late, that's when they start acting up. It's like, no, I want potato chips for dinner. You're not getting potato chips, eat your meatloaf.
Then you ain't eating.
Yeah.
Good night.
Exactly.
Then that's the end of that conversation.
But if you come with the rules, like you said, then I guess you kind of already, you know,
We got to establish it from the go.
Yeah.
Nip the shit in the bud. So as far as like parenting, I didn't really take away too much from that. It's kind of like what not to do.
Yeah.
I know you can't hit the kids, but I'll shake the shit out of a kid.
Shake.
Older kid, not a baby.
Oh, okay.
Not a baby.
All right.
But he would think he don't know if I'm gonna hit him or not.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the fear up in him. It ain't gonna be they throwing stuff across the room and that's not happening.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's ridiculous.
I thought you meant like shake, like.
Yeah. What the hell you doing? It's my goddamn house.
I see.
Yes. The kids do not run me. I'm the one that go to school or went to school. I got my job. I got my degree. I pay the bills. You the kid.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome for whatever I do for you.
Right.
And that's it. So that's the only thing that I would have liked kind of like Mark to establish.
Right.
But
I think they try too much to be their friend.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there's a point where you can't be a kid's friend, you know?
Nope. Not
because you're going to
someone
be
in your house.
Yeah, you have to know what's good for them, and you have to give them that, you know?
Right. You know, you can't whoop them. But
there was a lot of like friendship type moments, like, oh, I just want to be called, you know, mommy and daddy, and, you know, live a happy life. You know, they always listen to me, but of course they're not going to always listen to you. So
right. So and they didn't know what they were getting.
Right.
You know, they had never even thought about it.
Yeah.
You know how Mark got suckered in was his wife showed him some pictures.
Right.
Why would you show me that?
Right. Exactly.
Don't show me that.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. That was pretty cool.
I don't know. That's what I like. That he actually had a heart.
Yeah.
You know, like you show me some pictures, now I gotta say yeah.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you could tell that they did want to have kids. You know.
Right.
But for whatever circumstance, you know.
And I did like how they were a team.
Yeah.
Like he said, well, she didn't want it, so we're not doing it. And it took that whole meal, the family dinner, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. The dude talking with his eyes closed. Everyone else is done praying.
Right.
He's still talking with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
As if he praying.
Right.
I'm glad you said you wouldn't get no kids, because I thought that was a terrible idea.
Right.
Like, you know, open your stupid eyes.
Yeah.
That was a good moment. I'm glad that it because sometimes I believe that it takes something drastic to actually change people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of movies don't get that right. A lot of movies, just the next scene, they just changed. Like,
No.
well, what happened? What
Yeah.
made you change your mind?
It was a climactic moment, you know, and everyone was putting in their 2 cents, was like, yeah, oh, thank God you didn't take these random ass kids. Oh, you know, you kind of dodged a bullet there.
Even
It's like,
the mama.
how dare you? You know, like, you're already shutting me down when I haven't even done anything. I'm going to prove to you that I can do it and I can do it good.
Right. Because
So-
even the mama, the one that's praying,
Yeah.
saying thank you for letting them have an opportunity to get these kids. She's like, oh, I'm so glad you're not getting the kids. I'm like, what is going on?
I know, right? Like, everyone just kind of shut them down.
It's too fake for me. I don't like fake family. I don't like all that.
Yeah.
Be real.
Yeah.
Don't be praying, thank you, Lord, for giving them the opportunity. And now you like, whew, you ain't going to do it?
Right.
Man.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say something, but since you said you're not going to do it, then, whew, good.
Well, you know what? We doing it, damn it.
Yeah.
I like that scene. That was pretty cool.
That was great.
I don't know. It had me emotional going home, actually. It was, to me, because I've always wanted to be a foster parent, like I was saying. And to see them doing it, to see, you know, the kids actually enjoying themselves, you know, like I have an auntie who is a foster parent, and that's how I know about all the stuff that goes on. And it's always I always like admired her for doing it. She's been doing it for 20-some years.
Wow.
Different ones, and she also prepares them for when they turn 18. They already got they gonna have a high school diploma, and they gonna have a skill. She puts them into programs that you have a skill. You can be what do you call it?
Trade school or
some type of trade. Yeah. So it's not like, okay, I'm 18. What am I gonna do? Mm-hmm. So she prepares them for life, and she buys them things with the money that they get. It's not just you just pocketing all the money, and you 18, get the hell out.
And you could tell that was kind of the situation with their foster parents that they were coming from, from the first family.
Absolutely. They're like, oh, you think you better than me?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
let's play restaurant. And then the littlest girl is just like, don't tell me how to raise my kids if you don't shut up and eat. It's like, dang.
And that's how kids do.
Yeah.
Like,
so they're just a sponge,
My son will say some stuff that I say to him sometimes.
It's like, don't you use that on me.
Right.
That's for me. That's not for you.
Exactly. So I don't know. I thought it was a really good family holiday spirit type of movie.
Yeah. I think that one of the biggest things was like, I said at a point I thought it was kind of predictable. They're obviously going to end up with these kids. They're going to live happily ever after, but there's going to be a lot of drama. I did not expect for the other mother to come back into the picture and really try to take these kids back.
Really?
I honestly thought that she was going to take the kids back, and then it would be like years later because they showed that older chick that was, in foster care or whatnot.
That was a great scene.
To get back.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was able to, as soon as they said, so what's the situation with the mom?
Yeah.
I knew what was going to happen. But it's okay.
Mom's going to try, and then she's going to fail, and she's going to go
right.
back.
I mean, I've seen enough movies. You got to have that conflict.
Right.
Can't just be, all right, they live happily ever after.
No.
So I was okay with that. But so there's a scene where this speaker comes to talk to all the foster or to be foster parents.
Right.
And she's talking about her experience, how much she loved her foster parents, things like that. So when things get hard, somehow Mark Wahlberg looked them up.
Yeah.
When things got hard, he looked them up and they went to go visit the family.
Yeah.
And he was like, Gene, you coming down? We need another speech, cause.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know if her name wasn't Gene, but
yeah,
the little girl, she went back into rehab.
Right.
And the mom, or Mark Wahlberg's wife, was like, Are you kidding me? All that stuff was fake.
Yeah.
The lady slapped the shit out of her.
The shit out of that mom. Like, I don't know how many takes they had to take for that, but maybe it was just one. I don't know.
Man, because she was like, you don't know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, how dare you?
Right, these kids been through a lot.
She's been struggling her whole life.
Right, she ain't no perfect little kid.
No.
But she's doing what she got to do to get clean again.
Right.
So that's what I got from that was your job as a parent is never over.
Right.
Until you die, your job of being a parent is never over. It might change. Mm-hmm. You might not be housing them anymore because they're grown, but they still have issues. They still need advice. They still need counsel.
Yeah.
So I really like that scene.
I did like that. Yeah, it was because not everything was perfect. They're like, oh, well, I grew up. Through foster care, I got these parents that they really worked on me, and I'm here today, and everything's dandy. Like, no, it's like I grew up and I'm still struggling with my addiction because my mom was a crack addict and I was given drugs when I was like 11 years old, and then I was abused, so I got a lot of stuff going on. So they showed all that and her like reverting back to that. So these kids are damaged. I mean, like, life has just dealt them like a bad set of cards, and they showed quite a bit of that. And each family kind of had their own struggle.
It makes you count your blessings for sure.
Yeah, it
you
really
appreciate
does.
your parents and your family. And I think it's needed in America because we tend to feel like whatever's outside of our family don't matter. So the homeless don't matter, foster kids don't matter, human trafficking doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters.
Yeah.
So I appreciate when they do movies like that.
Yeah, like especially now. I think this year we've seen a lot more of that and I'm kind of glad that they're bringing it to light, as far as like, these, kidnappings and child kidnappings and like the black market and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's becoming more apparent and they're putting that word out there for it.
And I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Even if they spin it with a little bit of a comedy.
Right.
I'm okay with that. It makes it easier to swallow, but still get people's minds and hearts thinking.
Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Mary Poppins, y'all.
Sure. Like I said, I've never seen that. I've heard that phrase.
All right.
I didn't know where it's from though.
There it is.
But Mary Poppins, okay.
Now, the one thing that I noticed that you always bring up, and I know I brought it up when we were watching the movie, was they killed off the black dude. And I started seeing more and more just because you pointed out so often that I'm kind of like keen to like when they treat like the black community like differently in all these movies.
It was pretty apparent.
It was really apparent. Like, okay, obviously one of the kids was playing football with the dad, and Mark Wahlberg throws a football. The dad goes to run after it, and he dies. So I was like, wow, all right.
And not only does he die,
yeah,
he drops to his knees, and the football hits him in the head.
yeah.
So not only is he dead, but also
Like,
he died
disrespectfully.
embarrassingly.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
And I'm like, golly, just don't even put me in there. I'm
Right.
okay with seeing an all-white cast.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see one black person that died. And then, to do another one, since we talking.
Yeah.
We talking.
We're talking about it.
The second black guy that you see, that's most prominent,
Yes.
is a homosexual.
Right.
And I'm like, that's what they do. They either killing us off, we are men who no one wants to be like, or they're homosexual. Unless you are The Rock,
Right.
Will Smith,
Yeah.
it's going to be someone you don't really care about.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. There was another black person, but we didn't get to see him that much.
And I think, like, even at the very end, when they're taking, like, a group photo, they asked one of the officers in the court, who is a black guy, if he wanted to be in the picture, and he's like, yeah. And then when he goes to take a picture, he does, like, this super feminine pose,
Yeah.
man. I was like,
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
So those are the things that, you know, most people might not notice, but as a black man in America, I notice these type of things, and I can't give it a 5 out of 5.
I do start to notice a lot of these, like,
because I always do it.
yeah, or like they're like more demeaning towards the black father or the father figure in a family role, where the mother is more like
The leader
of the
head.
pack. Yeah,
Right.
It's really interesting. I've just, you know, it was really blatant. It was out there, you know. And
It sure was. There was one scene where there's a number of white folks, and then they turn to the next scene. The black guy runs to get the football,
Yeah,
dead.
you're right.
So it was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
So it's right in your face, but
it is.
some people don't notice those things. So that's why I don't always give a movie 5 out of 5, because
Right.
if you have those agendas,
Yeah,
then I got to ding you for it.
right. And
But
so,
overall, I thought
I
it was
mean-
pretty good.
yeah, overall it was really good, and you know there was a lot of, like, you know, things that having to do with race and all that stuff. You know, obviously all the white folks are doing really well for their lives, that, you know, they're really rich and successful, that they just want to adopt all these kids. And if
Right.
they're not, you know, white folks, and they're, you know, gay, black folks, or whatever it is, and, you know, again, they just want to adopt these minority kids.
Right.
So
And it's funny, because even like one of the counselors, or the main counselors, I guess,
yeah,
she had a daughter,
right.
and she said she birthed her, but she looked super homosexual. I mean, she could still birth her, I guess. She has a womb. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I guarantee you're not the one who birthed her. You're the stud.
Right.
You must got a fem, I believe they call them, somewhere that birthed your daughter.
Probably,
But
yeah.
they just had to say it anyway.
Surrogate mother or something. I don't know. Who knows?
right, it just, I don't know. It just didn't really fit. You know, she got on those what are those men's suits? What do you call those?
I don't
She had on the work suits all the time with
Yeah.
the vests and
Yeah,
everything.
blazer and everything. Yeah.
I'm like, she did not birth that kid.
Yeah.
But
It was a little suspect.
it was funny. She was funny.
It was a funny part because they're talking about, like, oh, look at this kid. Like, she looks like she's really broken and she's been chained to a water heater her whole life. It's like, that kid over there, that's my daughter.
She probably has been chained to a dead.
Like, we don't even have a water heater. It's
You
like,
don't know what goes on in people's houses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can just like there's people who get foster kids for the money.
Mhm.
There's people who are in the foster kid system for the money.
That's true. Yeah.
So we really don't know, but
Yeah.
they didn't get into all that. It was just they brought it up, so mine's just my mind anyway.
Yeah.
Just goes with it.
Yeah.
Sorry if I offended you. They put them in the movie, okay? All I said was homosexual, okay?
Right.
Sorry, I can't, that's just, hey, it is what it is.
It's just one of the things that, you start noticing, like, more and more. And, I mean, at least the credit that I could give to this movie is they were calling it out themselves.
Yeah, they did.
They called it out. And so I was like, okay, so long as you know what you're doing, we're cool. Well, let's continue and let me enjoy my movie. And I did. It was exactly that. It was like, okay, we're making this movie. I know this is a bunch of white folks adopting kids, so let's move on.
Oh, did we mention that in this video? I asked you, because they did point out that, Mark Wahlberg points out, he was like, but aren't I being the white savior to these Latino kids?
Yeah.
And I thought they weren't going to mention that. I thought they were going to just like, yep, I'm going to take these Latinos and we're going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I wonder what Adon feels about this.
Oh, man. I mean... and that's what I mean. Like, I was like, I had already seen it coming. And if they didn't touch upon it, oh man, I was going to talk about it. But they did. They already rebutted themselves right then and there. They stuck their foot in their mouth and they just like reeled it back out. And they did it funny. It was a very clever way. It's like, oh yeah, we got them right over here. We got them in a warehouse right here. Just pick and go. And it's like, no, I'm just kidding. We actually don't have that, but
Yeah, it was, and I would have thought the same thing if there was a bunch of black kids that they adopted. I'd have thought the same thing. So I was with you. I'm like, I wonder if he feels the same way as me.
Yeah.
They brought it up. Okay,
right.
cool.
Oh, great. We got to get the kids from broken Hispanic house with the mother being a crack addict in prison, and then coming out, and then going back, and it's like, oh, great.
I see it with the Latinos too, because like we watched Peppermint.
Yeah.
And all the bad guys were Latino.
It was mafia. Like, let's kill all the cartel guys.
It
Every
bothered
single
me.
Hispanic guy is cartel, and you're a bad guy.
No, they tried to make it seem like the police officer that was Latino was a bad guy.
Right.
But he ended up not being. But they kind of made it seam like it.
They did.
I'm like, God damn, even the cop was crooked?
Yeah. He's like, I would watch your back. You should not take this case.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm always seeing it. I just don't know if you see it.
I do see it. I see it a lot more now. I mean, we watch
Logan.
a lot of movies.
In Logan.
In Logan, especially.
The bad guys were Latinos.
Yeah.
He ended up killing them in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. But we got a little girl that was also,
Right, they made up for it.
Yeah. So it's like, all right.
But the men, though.
They're treading.
That's the thing. The men all got cut down.
Jacked up. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but that's a whole different story for another day.
I mean, we just see it. We see a lot of movies. We see it in this one. The only difference between these and the other movies is they talked about it.
Right. So if you made it this far in the video, this kind of stuff that we bring out. We're going to bring out all the agendas, all of the subliminal messages. We're going to bring it out.
Yeah. And I know there's probably more. I mean, we saw the movie one time, and I mean, I'm not there taking notes, but I'm seeing it, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, here we go again.
Right. Yeah. But they did a good job. They cleaned up for it.
They did.
They talked about themselves.
I'm saying I enjoyed myself as much as, the movie laid it out.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, guys, that's our discussion.
That's it.
For Instant Family.
What did you think?
Right. Did you notice those things? Did it bother you?
Does it sound off-putting, like us talking about this kind of stuff? Or, I mean, are we just being real with you and that's off-putting?
It don't matter. I'm gonna be me.
I just want a conversation. Where are you guys at?
You ain't gonna shush me on my camera.
Oh, so you don't want to watch this movie no more? Oh, so you don't want to go to the movies? So I can't take you out? No. I don't know. You don't care about these kids?
And that is our cue to just get off when we get out of control. We want to have fun. We want to still bring out some important stuff. So go ahead and subscribe and take this ride with us on Break Room Blitz, and we'll break it down for you. All right. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Pwned Pops. That's PWNEDPOPS. I make custom figures, custom Funko Pops.
Yeah, there's one right over there, but I can't reach it. So
what you do is you go check out my Instagram, take a look at some pictures.
Right, there's way better ones on there anyway.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hopefully I can get a Deku. I don't know.
We're getting there.
Right, you can find us on all the social media, Break Room Blitz, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Post a lot of funny things, and you get to know what's going on with us. And then interact, so not just on the video. So, all right, guys, we're out.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.